Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to another episode. Today I want to talk about again my quick lunch, and I want to spend some time just talking about how crypto needs to do better in the sense like how it's a pain to pay with crypto, and we need to do better if crypto is to get our adoption rate. So here's the point why pay by crypto doesn't work. Okay, number one is the infrastructure just not being there. So if you think about it, right, Visa and Mastercard spent a lot of time putting together the infrastructure that people are not seeing. Okay. Right now, I can tell you to process a MasterCard and Visa right now, the process up to 300,000 transactions per second. That's how quick it is to transact. So when you tap your card or tap your ring, actually, by the way, I'm the CEO of Orukka. If you don't know me yet, just watch my videos or go download Orukka, orukka.com. We do payment rings, so you can tap to pay with your ring. Okay, and it works with Mastercard. So this is the Mastercard chip in here, and it's linked to the Monesave app. So you download the Monesave app and you order the ring. The ring works in Monesave. Okay. So again, I've been in banking for the last 20 years. So whatever I say here, I'm saying it from someone who's actually worked in banking, who's working in banking. Okay, and clearly, doing this as well. So I'm not an influencer, if you can't tell, and I'm doing my own thing here, just spreading the good word with my ring. Orukka.com, check it out. But I suppose the point I was trying to make there, guys, is the fact that it took a while for Mastercard to do that. Okay, so we work with Mastercard. I can tell you how tough it is, right? And they have that infrastructure laid out such that you can go in about 200 countries. In fact, someone was arguing with me the other day. And went, oh, I like it when people come in and have that conversation and go, oh, wait, you can't say 210 countries. So we are in 210 countries because we link with Mastercard. So that means if you have Mastercard in your country, you can get our rings. Okay. We're still talking to banks. We have about 300 banks we're working with, but we have ways around it such that we work with PSPs, we work with various counterparties to make sure that customers can get, as long as you have Mastercard, you can pay with these rings, our rings. There's some rings that allow Europe, UK, which we work with. But we work with the US, Canada, basically any island we work. I think the other day someone came in from I think it was a tiny island just off the coast of Africa. It could have been Tanzania or something. And I had to Google it. So yeah, our rings are there. Orukka.com. But the point I'm trying to make is that Mastercard and Visa have set up that infrastructure so that you can tap to pay on the Mastercard framework that people don't realize, okay? Such that they have their cards, which is just basically the cards that they give you, right? So when your bank gives you a Visa or Mastercard card, they're giving you a card on the Mastercard network. Does that make sense? Your card is your bank is issuing a card, but the card they issue, if you look at your card, just bring out your card and look through it. It's always going to have a badge of Visa, Mastercard, Amex for American Express, JCB for Asia. Okay. Now those must be the card. Those are the infrastructure that makes a payment. When they say payment rails, right? Those are the rails that the bank works on. Banks themselves don't issue cards. They can't issue cards, right? It's like as much as we issuing rings. We can't issue rings. We use Mastercard for payments and crypto, but I'll talk about that separately. And central banks, I'll talk about that separately on another video. But I don't want to make this video too long, right? But I think the point I'm trying to make there, if you want to understand, is that Visa and Mastercard have set up that infrastructure so that you can go in and you can tap to pay, right? Because what they do is they have the layer, they give the POS terminal. So any merchant there has a POS terminal, which is basically a box. But that box effectively says, hey, the box is listening to people who tap in. When you tap your card, in less than 1 second, 2 seconds, it rings 2 seconds. As soon as you tap it there, it takes your data, runs into the bank, checks how much the bank has held aside, whether you're in the sky, you're under, you're swimming, wherever, it doesn't matter. They take their payment immediately off network, take the payment, and then it settles days after. But you as a customer, you don't know that. So it settles like that instantly, okay, because of the network effect. So they've grown that network effect and trust, which is missing for crypto. That's the problem. So while everyone's happy to see Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the stable coins come together, they're still lagging behind because of that lack of trust or lack of network effect, right? Because what you're seeing now is the fact that, you've got Bitcoin taking like hours to settle, unless you're on Strike or something similar where they have a Lightning network. But even the Lightning network is almost like a counterparty settlement system, which again is tough to put together, right? If you can't put it together, then it's a tough one to do. So the point I'm trying to make is that it's going to be tough for crypto to get to that stage where it operates like MasterCard. It has to one have its own network of POS terminals, which we've seen come to light over the last few months. We're working with a few, by the way. So we're working with Binance, we're working with Coinbase, we're working with Strike, and working with quite a lot of, counterparties basically to provide our ring so that you can tap to pay with these things, right? So check it out, download the app and check it out whenever you watch this. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's tough to put these things together so that when people argue and say, hey, we want to pay by crypto, the major point they should be worrying about is how many people are going to invest in that crypto. That's what we're not thinking about. And the paradox here, or the issue here, which I find, and I don't mind, again, we're in the middle here, right? So we just provide rings to users. If you want crypto, we'll give you a ring to pay with crypto. If you want Coinbase, we'll give you a ring to pay, right? That's fine. But the point I'm trying to make is, for this to work, crypto bros should not rely on banks. But they're relying on banks, which is unfortunate, right? But they shouldn't, because what's happening now is you would see a stage where the Mastercards, Visa of this world will now provide crypto. If they provide crypto service, what does that mean? That means they're now TradFi. They're not traditional. They're not tracking you. They're not checking. They need to do KYC on you. They need to find exactly what you're using the money for, which defeats the entire purpose of crypto and Coinbase and blockchain. So and then if you want to go out and say, okay, you want to go ahead and do it outside the banking system, of course you can, but who's going to pay for the infrastructure? The payment rails I talked at the start, you need that to be in place. Who's going to do that? We don't know. Okay, so that's one of my team members running around there. But so the point I'm trying to make, guys, is there needs to be that structure in place. There needs to be some sort of connection between users, and then after that, I think things will fall in place. Paying, which is already there with Bitcoin, is the fact that it's going to be expensive to start, and that's okay. People are ready to pay, right? Remember, gas fees used to be so high, still is sometimes, but people are ready to pay for that. The same thing with Visa, Mastercard. I think they charge up to 3% sometimes. They charge the merchant. Okay. Now people claim that they don't know it's free. It's not free, because if you pay $10 or something, 3% goes to the merchant. Sorry, 3% goes to Mastercard, 97% goes to the merchant. The merchant are just taking a fee of 3%. Tomorrow when you go back, what do you think is going to happen? The price is going to go up. So now instead of $100, you end up paying $103 because 3% goes to the network. But we don't know. We just feel it's inflation, but it's not inflation. It's an inflation on the price that had to step in there because of the fees, which you're paying, but you don't realize you're paying. So, and that's the same thing as well. If you want to do that, we should do the same as well with Bitcoin and be ready to pay a little bit more so that you can actually make, have that execution that you want to do. Okay, without relying on the government, without relying on traditional finance. So that's the point I'm trying to make there real quick, right? I have to get back to my customers. I've got customers all over the world. It's nighttime here. So again, the US guys have just waken up. Got a few queries come through there. I want to end by saying thank you guys, by the way. Thank you so much for all our customers. I never said that enough. Thanks to our customers who've downloaded Monesave, who've ordered Orukka around the world. We're currently, I think, in 55 countries, which is huge for what we have. We're also working with quite a few governments as well, and with Strike and with crypto bros as well. Again, we're trying to be the Switzerland of everything here, right? I want to give the devices to people to be able to pay wherever they are with a ring. So you might have seen people paying with rings. That's us. Now, and again, we don't have to be out there. So it's Orukka.com, but we also sell our rings to other people to use. So if you're using the payment ring, and 9 times out of 10 is coming from us, either with some discounts. Again, we're working with government. Hopefully, we'll be able to offer discounts where the government actually pays for the convenience. And people ask me the same question. Okay, why don't you just use your phone? Okay, true. I'm recording this on the phone. Well, the pain is the battery is going to die. Number one, so you don't want to rely on that. Number two, Apple, Android, those guys are already taking off from us, okay? And how to say it, right? They are the only people I argue against. So I don't mind Aura, I don't mind Whoop, I don't mind any wearable. If you're a wearable, you don't use battery, or you reduce your consumption on the phone, that's what we want to do. I want to make sure you reduce consumption of phones. Phones are just too much. That's my point. That's my argument there. So don't rely on your phones, don't rely on your batteries. We already have enough screen times, they monitor us enough. And governments and banks really have to rely on phones as well these days. So it's crazy the amount of dependencies we have there. So hopefully we don't have to do that going forward with rings, with wearables that also allow you to use other ways, right, of interacting with each other without just going by phones. So that's it for now. Thank you very much. I'll catch you in the next one. All the best.